Hey everyone, Josh here with J&T's Journey, and today I'm going to talk to you about what I think the 5 best mods are that you can do to your AVan. Hey everyone, Josh here with J&T's Journey, and today I'm going to talk to you about what I think are the 5 best low-cost simple mods that you can do to your AVan. Now, we're not talking about the big ticket items here. We're not talking about the big solar off-grid system. We're not talking about the air conditioner. We're not talking about suspension modifications or anything ridiculously expensive like that. We're talking about what I think are the mods, the simple, cheap, easy mods that we get the most use out of in our AVan when we're camping. Do bear in mind that these are our mods, and what you believe is right for you might be different. But before we get started, drop a comment below. I'd be interested to know what you think our 5 top mods are for the AVan. All right, now let's get stuck into it. We'll move around the van, we'll look at the stuff that's outside first, and then we'll pop inside and have a look at the stuff that's inside. Remember, we're going to keep this short, 5 mods in total. All right, first on the list, and this one probably doesn't come as a huge surprise because we've done an AVan tips and tricks episode on this one, Jockey Wheel. Right, we move this thing around a lot. We tow our camper a lot, and the standard single wheel Jockey Wheel, it's a pain to move this thing on it, especially when we're fully loaded and we're a little bit heavier on the nose. We've upgraded to the Extreme Off-Road Arc XO 750 Jockey Wheel. This thing is an absolute monster. It adjusts height up and down in steps, as well as having a whole crank. It's got a removable handle for transport, so you don't have to worry about bending or damaging the handle on things, and it adjusts in just about every single direction. The dual wheels on the bottom of it also provide better rolling resistance on the ground because the load is spread over 2 wheels, not one narrow one, and we find this makes maneuvering our van around heaps easier, heaps easier. So much so that T can even pull this around on her own. All right, let's have a look at the next thing. Next thing, maybe not so obvious, additional side hatches. Now, if like us, you don't have the Adventure Plus, these don't come standard. Now, our camper is an adventure pack, but as standard, these campers only come with one of these hatches in the back passenger side corner to get into one of the compartments underneath the bed. They don't come standard with these up the front. These things are absolutely worth their weight in gold. The ability to get into these cupboards from outside while you're setting up. In this case, I'm looking at the driver's side rear one, and in this one, we store all of our annex stuff, all of our power cables, all of the stuff that we put in at the beginning of the trip, take out at the beginning of the trip and then at the stay, and then put back in at the end of that stay. All of that stuff goes in here. So it's a take out once, put back in once, get back on the road. We have another one of these on the other side as well, so we now have 3 of these in total. These are one of the best factory options you can fit, or one of the best aftermarket options you can fit to the camper. These things make the experience just so much easier, especially when you're setting up and packing up. The next one is one that is a personal preference item for us, and that is these big full-length domes. So anyone who's ever gone to order one of these AVans new knows that standard, these don't come with the full-length domes, again, unless you order the Adventure Plus model. They come with 2 smaller domes. These full-length domes let a lot more light in, they provide a lot more ventilation, they make the whole camper feel a lot more roomy inside. We prefer these full-length domes, and honestly, these again are probably one of the more underrated things. Now, there is a trend towards seeing more of these full-length domes, but we would have loved to have seen these as a standard option, not something you have to pay extra for. Just while I'm going through all of these things that I think are the most cost-effective and best upgrades for your AVan, if you're enjoying our content, if you could just hit that subscribe button down there. It costs you absolutely nothing, really does help us. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers at the moment. I'd really like to see us get there before the end of the year, but we need a little bit of a push along. We need help from our audience. If you guys are enjoying our content, if you find our content useful to you or you think it'd be useful to others, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, inside the camper now, and this one probably doesn't come as a surprise if you've watched our latest video. The next thing that I think is one of the best, cheap, effective mods that you can do is additional USB ports. Now, where you put them in your camper, how you, like where they work for you is entirely up to you. You do not have to put them where we've put them, but we have some USB-Cs, some high output normal USB-As, some additional USB-Cs in the bench near the sink, and some extra USB-As on the side of the drawers near the bed. Adding some extra USB ports, given the proliferation of USB charging for everything these days, is an absolute no-brainer for us. These are absolutely critical if you want to be power efficient. I hate running 240 volt leads across the camper, and we only have one 240 volt outlet, so these things have been absolutely amazing. And when we did our big East Coast trip, we used these far more than we ever used 240 volts for charging things. And the last one on my list of things that I think are the 5 best improvements you can make on an AVan is this thing here. This is the control panel for our diesel heater. Now, there are plenty of locations that you can hide a diesel heater in an AVan. In our case, we have it underneath the passenger side of the bed, so the entry side underneath the bed, and the diesel heater's there, and the outlet comes out just underneath the bed, and it draws in through all the vents and the cupboards and stuff underneath. But this thing is absolutely worth its weight in gold, like all of the other mods. These are simple mods. They don't cost a lot of money. But if you're doing off-grid camping, the ability to keep your camper warm with drawing a minimal amount of power is absolutely critical. Obviously, if you do invest in a diesel heater, you do invest in USB charging, you will need to consider an upgraded solar system. I'm going to do a separate video on that, on what I think the best, most cost-effective upgrade for a standard AVan is for the solar system. You do not need to go to the extreme that we have in order to get a decent amount of charging to be able to run off-grid, run your pump, run your diesel heater, run your USB charging, etc. Hope that's been helpful. They're just the top 5 mods that I prefer in the AVan. I'm sure if you ask T, and we might do an episode on her 5 favourite things in here a little bit later down the track, she would give you a different set of 5 things. These are the things that I think are really important, that I think add the most value to our trips. What about you? What do you think are the top 5 most important mods in your AVan? Drop a comment below, let us know, share it in the group. Let's talk about these things. Let's show other people our campers. Let's show other people our vans. There's a disturbingly low amount of personalized AVan content on YouTube, and we are trying to change that. So please, if you're enjoying our content, share our videos, comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. It all helps drive the videos that we are producing on this topic for you, our viewers. If you're enjoying our content, please don't forget, like, subscribe, share the videos. If you'd like to support us in our journey, you can become a YouTube member where you'll get exclusive access to perks. Most importantly, you'll get early access to release of our videos. And when we hit 1,000 subscribers, you will get priority access to a special event that we're going to hold for our celebration of 1,000 subscribers. I've been Josh with J&T's Journey. Thanks everybody for watching. Cheers.